All right, in this video, I want to go over Unity version control. So let's say you have a project here, like I have this one. I actually have it on 3 computers, maybe even 4 if you consider the one in the Vis Studio. So I'm gonna like favorite it now, and I have enabled Unity version control here. I haven't enabled it for these other projects except for that one. This is the one I used, I think, a year ago in my 659. So now we're doing 2022-342F1. This is the project name. I just included the version number because I know it's pretty tricky. I guess I have a few different Unity installs on this computer from the past, so I could actually open these older projects. I also know there's Unity 6 out there, whatever. But anyway, so we're using this editor here, and so this is the one that I'm using. And so I've already opened the project here, but let's say, so I have a version of this project here. This is a much older version. This is where I was trying to get started on the moon and Earth scene. So Earthrise, that photograph that I showed. And I had like the Earth here and some initial textures. And so I have all of these. But now, then I went to a different computer and I actually kept working there. So I have a Unity version control tab, and when you click it, it always does stuff in the background. But anyway, there's a few changes that I made locally that I haven't committed. But what is more important is actually the incoming changes from online, basically from my other computer where I've made a lot of stuff, a lot of changes, deletes, and then also lots of new things. So let's say one of the computers is your own and the other one is in the lab, and then you used one to really advance the project. And the question is like, what's the best way to actually now, keep the changes in track and then also syncing the projects. And so basically, there is, it says here, okay, so this is now cloud enabled. Go to the repository in the DevOps dashboard. I need to find a link to share that with you, but basically, you need to install another application. This is DevOps here, where I have like all the few different repositories, and I'm looking at the one that I am on that's connected to this project, and I have a version of it checked out. I don't know exactly. It's similar to like GitHub, and Git essentially might even be Git based. I don't know exactly what versioning the system they use in the background, but it's I refer to this as the Unity version control. So they call it Unity version control, as you can see here. And so let's say if I didn't have the project on this computer yet, I would go to the DevOps and actually download this project into my local folder, and then connect the project in here by adding it from disk. And this is what I have definitely done on one of the computers, but I think it originated on this computer. And then it would be in here, and I get the latest, and then I just click it and it opens. And so this is then the open project. Now, my current situation is that I've actually made edits to this project on a different computer, and so now I'm reviewing Unity version control. So you can do this. There's a button up here that shows you Unity version control. It probably is like somewhere, it's like a window they put somewhere, and I just usually like to put the bigger windows next to my scene. I have the game view down here, hierarchy and inspector both aligned on the right, and hierarchy would be on the left normally, but I like this layout quite a bit, and I've zoomed in a little bit so you can read maybe what I'm seeing. So I'm gonna accept these incoming changes. We're just gonna resolve the conflicts. I don't know, this button down there always has a different label, so I don't know exactly what it does, but I believe it'll be just like getting these projects down now, and here it has some changes that maybe I just should not have. I should not have resolved, but let's say this is just some project settings that I keep changing all the time between the projects. So I'm just gonna leave it like that for now. And what I did now is I didn't really resolve these local conflicts. So conflict management and resolution, I think, is a different lecture. Here I just wanted to show basically you can ignore some of your pending changes locally, and then just merge those, or like basically download those incremental changes that you did on a different computer. And it is still relatively slow, but I think overall it's much faster than actually trying to like make a backup of the project and copy and upload and zip it and upload and unzip it, because you shouldn't really upload Unity photos, like a million small files, which just takes forever. And that's interesting. So here it seems like my texture is missing right now. There's one file that has conflict, and what I'm gonna do is like I'm just gonna keep my workspace settings, and so I'm just gonna basically the way I had it set it up here. Maybe I made different project settings on a different computer, but let's say I just keep them here, the ones that I have here, and so that's what I just said. And now it's gonna apply everything. It's gonna be great. I do think the biggest problem here is actually that I deleted this material, and in fact, this entire scene doesn't exist anymore. So I renamed the scenes and everything. I have like an Earthrise scene here, and this is depth 1, and I'm just gonna ignore this. And you can see I started. I think this is what I did in class in one of the labs. We started with the moon, and then we added. There should be Earth somewhere here. Let's see where Earth is. Earth is there. Okay, and then kind of like at least increase the camera speed a little bit. And I showed many of these things in class, I guess, so it's gonna be fine. But just so that you can navigate a little bit faster here in a scene of big scale. And so now I have all the different things synchronized, and even have my terrain here and my Earth there, and this is my moon terrain down there, with this step where I had some extra lighting. So this is step 5. So now I'm happy and can continue working here. When I'm done, let's say I make some changes. Let's say I create a new scene, because this is like a really big change, so to create a new scene. We're gonna do built-in. We're gonna remove the light, so we like. Actually, I'm gonna apply a material. I created a material here. Actually, that is kind of like a silver material. Did I sync that already? Yeah, that's a good question. It has like a lot of materials in here, so let me take my own. I don't have my silver material here. I have gray matter. I'm just gonna use the black material right now. So let's say this is my black scene. It seems like I haven't synced some changes from the other computer. Okay, I have to figure that out. But anyway, so now I'm like, okay, so this is my new scene. I'm just gonna save it. Under scenes, and then like black scene. Okay, so this is now a new thing I did on this computer. So I go to Unity version control. I have pending changes now. Basically, these are changes I made to the project here. Create a new scene. So I check them in, and probably I'll just check in these project settings, I guess. A new black background scene. And so I'm gonna check this in, and then now it's online. If I go to the next computer, or in fact, if I go to DevOps, I can probably see if I go to assets and then scenes, there should be my new hello. There should be my new black scene and a black scene matter. So it's already checked and it's online, and it's synced. So I also have it downloaded right now. You can see by the check mark. All right, so this is what I wanted to cover. I hope this is helpful and should allow you to work with different computers. We need to see whether DevOps needs to be installed in the VisStudio, whether they have it already. There's also a web interface to it, but I do think that you do need this client to really get it to work in Windows. But we can talk to the VisStudio folks. All right.